Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Living a Graceful Life. My name is Tracy Gelb. I'm going to be your host this evening. I want to wish everybody a very happy Labor Day, very happy Labor Day. Today, I hope everybody got to rest and relax and unwind and just have a wonderful day and a wonderful long weekend. My topic this evening is when one door closes, another one opens. And I was kind of going through, which topics to do this week. And this one definitely resonates with me. I have a very strong fear of change. And, when things change or have changed in my life, it's been very, harsh for me, very traumatic, very scary. And now I'm understanding that those changes happened for me to grow. Those, like I've said in the past, the Chinese word for change, there's no like exact change. It's opportunity. And that's what it is. It's an opportunity when something happens, and it's almost a little cliche to say when one door closes, another one opens. But whatever your feelings are, if you feel it in a spiritual way or a way of faith, which I do, is that God leads us in a path, and sometimes it's not exactly the path that we had planned, or oftentimes, um, the other door that opens is magnificent and wonderful and changes things. And I remember thinking when I was a bar owner and my business no longer existed, I'd been in the bar and restaurant industry for so many years, half my life, over 20 years, that I couldn't even conceive of doing anything else. I didn't know what else to do. That's what I'd always done. And teaching Ageless Grace for the last 7 years has been magical. What a beautiful door that opened for me. The door of, I used to call it the den of iniquity, because that's basically what it was, the nightlife and the drinking and the strange people, to this beautiful community of wonderful people that want to be well and want to be healthy. So I got to open a beautiful door 7 years ago. And I had something, I'm having a fantastic guest on next week. I'm so excited. And her name is Elaine Dunphy. And a lot of times on her social media, she quotes a poet named Donna Ashworth, excuse me. And I just thought about this. I was reading this today. I was looking up a little bit about Elaine so I could know more about her for next week. I want to read you guys a quote from the poem. And it it was a poem that something about, the terminology in different countries for trash is rubbish. So it's putting your rubbish away, getting rid of your rubbish. And it says, you will need your hands free, you see, to welcome the new in when the storm is over, because all the storms run out of rain, all skies clear eventually, and you won't get your share of the good stuff if you are carrying yesterday's rubbish. And the last part is, it says, see each new dawn as a chance to be free of the past, new page, clean slate, hands free. And the poem is called Yesterday's Rubbish. So when we let go of the previous things that are holding us back, we open the new doors. We don't even open the new doors. The new doors open for us. And that's why I wanted to do and talk today about when one door closes, another one opens. There's so many signs that we get as we move forward to let us know that we're going in the right direction, that the past is in the past, and that the opportunities that are coming, if we don't leave the room for it, and I say we, I mean me, a lot of times I've had things that are cluttering my life, cluttering my brain, cluttering my thoughts, um, just, many forms of toxicity. Once we let that go, the new opportunities happen. I have had so many unbelievable opportunities in the last 2 years, including this show. And that was because I closed the door from gambling. I closed the door from living in that chaos, living in that manicness and craziness. I have had the opportunity and blessing to run the cancer support group with my mom. that was a door that opened for me because I was open to it and had the time rather than wanting to rush off to the casino the minute the class ends. Now I want to stay longer. I want to be with people. I want to, knowledge is power. It's powerful. And being able to learn things and live the things and be able to share them with others is my purpose, and my whole life revolves around that. My mom and I this week watched a Netflix show called The Secrets of Living to Be 100, The Secrets of the Blue Zones. And they talk a lot about purpose and people connecting and having a reason. And there's one terminology, it's called a moi. And that's how Elaine, the woman I'll be interviewing next week, described Denise Medved's Ageless Grace as a moi of people that connect with each other through ageless grace and through the beauty of learning about the brain and learning about health and opening the doors and opening the pathways, but closing the chapter in my life of unhealthiness, closing that door of the food choices, the people that I surrounded myself with choices, the sleepless nights, traumatized days, to live a life of peace. And all the pathways that I'm being led to now are are being are happening because I'm letting the doors close that need to close. I'm not struggling. Sometimes we get a little whisper like this has to change. This isn't good. And then it's a little louder. It's this has to change. This isn't good. And then it's a, kind of a medium, and then it's kind of an emphatic, and then it's a scream. And I never wanted again to get to the scream. I don't want it to get to the scream. I've had many people in my life where it's gotten to the scream and I've watched them suffer and spiral and not want to change whatever it is, not want to close that door so that they can open the new door to the new adventure, because that's what it is. I was so adverse to change. It was so traumatic for me. I had so many changes at such a young age that I was so, I couldn't cope with any kind of change. I would literally melt down and break down, even if it was changing a mirror in my room. If something needed, my mom needed something done just to do a project, I would have an actual meltdown. That's how terrified I was. I realized that I had to deal with that trauma and work on it. And that's as people, in order for us to heal, we have to realize that this was something that was hard for me. And it's if we take a handful of things that are the hardest for us to work on and work on them, it's magic. It's magical because now I'm open to change. My mom said today we were watching about the blue zones, and they at the end, I don't want to give it away, but there's, potential blue zones popping up everywhere. And my mom talked about moving to another place in Florida. And I said, I'm open to it. We could sell the apartment, go live there, teach Ageless Grace. It's not far enough away where we can't come back and visit. And she said, I'm really proud of you because I'm telling you, about a year ago, I would have had an absolute, just her mentioning it would have had me in a terror the rest of the day. But change is opportunity. Opening that new door is opportunity. I'm open to so many different things now, and that's the way that I feel I'm going to be able to truly have my purpose and have my calling. I'm starting in October a group of wellness around healing through food and food choices. And it's just wonderful. I listen every day now to different documentaries to do with food, more than I ever have before. I have, but now I'm really listening to them because I want to be able to share different ideas and different things. And it's been such a struggle for me. And as I'm healing through it, I'd like to share that. So it's going to be a new project for me. I'm so excited to do it. And this show has given me a platform. I'd like to do so starting next year, some motivational speaking. So I do have to close some chapters and some pages. And I realize I have to give up a couple classes, which is okay. Before, that was terrifying to me. I was, scared of any kind of change. And now I'm embracing it. I'm feeling powerful. And it's a feeling of power and a feeling of kind of taking back my life, and not being scared like I was when I was younger. The change that I'm making is my choice. Nobody's making that choice for me. And I made a couple notes here. I normally do. And I was listening to something and it talked about, when you know, just an example, you're in a hall and you close one door, you don't know what the other door, say it's already closed, you don't know. It could be wonderful, it could be, you know, not so wonderful, but if you don't open the door, you're never gonna know. You're just gonna walk by that incredible potential opportunity. So also, I think that when your brain, like mine was, is resistant to change, there, you know, it's something that stops us, it stops the growing so much in the process of growing and being open. You know, I always talk about having a mind that's attached to nothing and open to everything. And when I say that, I really mean that. I'm open to everything. I'm open to discovering different forms of religion, learning about them. Doesn't mean I'm going to become it, but I'm open to it. Different nationalities, different types of people, different types of experiences. I love Ageless Grace, but I'm open if I get another opportunity as well. You know, and this is something, it doesn't matter what age or stage we are in life. I watch my mother change direction all the time. She pivots, she makes different changes. That's what keeps her brain so young and healthy. And it's not just one road all the time, the same thing. And she is more, I mean, we joked around because, you know, we have the two birds. My little baby is very much like me, and her little baby's like her. Her and her boy bird are very explorative. We call him Dora the Explorer. They're up for anything, and Mango and I are scared and timid, my birdie, but not anymore because she's learning to find her footing, and I'm watching her become healthier and happier as she's adapting to change. And that's really what it's all about. You know, we know in life we can count on probably three things. We can count on taxes. Unfortunately, death does happen, but we can count on, it's, things are going to change. Things are going to change in our life. Things are going to happen, good and bad. And learning how to react to it and to be open to the open door that's happening is it's life changing and it's life saving. And it is for me to have the reaction that I had today, to just say, you know what, mom, we could sell the apartment, we can move. You know, it was kind of like, "Ooh, who's that talking there?" And it's me. It's me. I mean, when the pandemic and COVID happened, I learned how to do Zoom. I didn't even know how to work a computer. I know how to do emails. And these are things that are so wonderful for the brain, but they're wonderful for the spirit. They heal us. And they've been healing me um to be well again in my life and to be happy and to be getting in my car and smiling and laughing. And you know, a guy today, I stopped a little short of a little past the stop sign, and there was a gentleman that gave me a gesture, and I just laughed and, you know, wished him, I had wished him well. Everything turns around, everything, when our brain is happy and healthy and open to change. And limiting myself has been a big problem for me, limiting my, you know, my opportunities. And you know, I'm so conscious and careful now about my words, what I say, try really hard. I told my mom I recently got a knock in the head when it comes to talking about other people and backbiting and how unkind it is and how awful it is. And I don't ever want to be a part of that. That's, you know, that's just not what I want. I think about the people that I admire the most in my life. One was my sister, for sure, is my sister. And she never spoke bad of anybody ever, never, and would actually call me out when I did. So those are the things that, you know, I'm working on. And those are the things that are going to make the doors fly open for me in every way, because I realize my mistakes. I do realize the things that I need to change. I have to stop being scared, stop being afraid, and also, you know, stop having some guilt and the disease to please, which I always speak about. That way, I'm open and I'm bringing in the opportunities that are going to happen, that are happening. My mom mentioned to me not that long ago that she was going to do a training to help people with Parkinson's. And she was a little apprehensive to tell me because anytime she tells me something new, in the past, I would just freak out. And I said, that's wonderful, mom. You're going to help people with Parkinson's. And it's so wonderful. It wasn't me thinking about me and that the changes, it would be, you know, sometimes the projects are a little time consuming and can be stressful. It was just my thoughts of helping people. When, you know, we go on that path and it's not about us and it's not about me, it just is. It's this training is going to be the biggest blessing. It's going to help so many people. I'm so proud of my mom. I'm so proud of her for being able to help people. And I see her do it and many, many, many people in many different ways. She's a, not a one-trick pony. She's many things, that she can help with nutrition and the brain and Parkinson's and, different types of cancer and of, every, you name it. And it's wonderful. I think that opportunities come and are going to come more and more for both of us because we both are centering our lives, looking ahead for those doors instead of clinging on to the room that we're in. We're leaving that room and looking, and that's how I feel like I'm searching a little more for people that are kind of, a little spiritual and like-minded, because I love that. I love to learn. I love to meet somebody that says, "Hey, do you know about the blue zones?" Or do you ever listen to Bruce Lipton, or do you listen to Wayne Dyer? It does everything for me because I want that. I want my brain to be constantly changing and constantly learning and the opportunities. So when that door does open, I see it so clearly and I'm not scared. I'm not scared of jumping right through it, jumping rope through it, so to speak, because that's how I feel. And I think that in order to really dream big, to have big dreams, and I don't mean monetary because that's not even where I'm going here. To dream really big, you have to pivot. And, that's the whole thing. I feel for me that my dreams are coming true. And I didn't even realize how organically and beautifully I got to have this show. And, there is some potential for big speaking to do with the Win-Win organization. But if that doesn't materialize, it's given me the confidence and the feeling of of value in a way, to be honest, so that I'm able to to further my speaking career. It was so wonderful to speak at the Ageless Grace retreat, and I had so many wonderful people approach me about being guests and about my personal speech and my mom's speech and different things. Such an incredible community, and there are so many opportunities. There are so many opportunities. Recently, Ageless Grace was featured on the news in South Florida. A incredible teacher named Eleanor Robinson. They did a feature on her class, and it makes me very proud and very happy for Denise Medved and all the trainers, my mom, all the educators, all the students. It just validates how important and precious this program is, how important neuroplasticity is, and what a door that Denise Medved has opened up for all of us, all of us. And I'm grateful forever, forever. It has been a life-changing, beautiful, I can't even imagine not teaching Ageless Grace. No matter what I do in my future, I know that Ageless Grace will be a part of it. Always, always. I will teach classes, go to classes. I'm going to keep my brain as healthy and positive and grateful and active and neuroplastic always. That's my plan. And I feel that sometimes, I know for me, I should say, that my faith has been tested. And I spoke about that after we lost my sister. And then I went on the downward spiral of drinking and gambling and chain smoking and those things. And I didn't really have a relationship with God. I just was very, 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 very lost and on a very dark path. And the people that I was bringing into my life were people that were on the same path as me, and we clung together because that's what happens. And I wanted to help them, they wanted to help me, but we couldn't because we were so sad and lonely and in a dark place. And as the light started coming back on and I started learning things and seeing things, I had to let these people go and they had to let me go. And then, through the transformation and through the change, I've had to close some pretty hard doors, honestly. Every once in a while, something comes back to open the door, and then I still have to close it. And I have to close it so that I open the door to the new opportunities and the new. I have to be, I have to surround myself with people that are healing, that are learning, that are growing. It's so common to hear, and I hear it all the time. Look at the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. look at their, do they make you happy? Do they fuel you? Are they kind, compassionate? Are they backbiters? Are they backstabbers? All of those things. And we become a part of who we hang around with. We even start to sound like them and think like them. And it's just so important to make good choices, just to make good choices. And that's what I'm doing now. I never, ever, ever, ever want to hurt anybody. That's the last thing I ever want to do. But I know that some of the choices that I've made, even very recently, have not been in my favor. So I've had to close some doors that have been painful, but I know that the doors that are opening are what is what it's my destiny. It's my purpose. It's my dream. It's my goals. And so I'm just going on that path of new horizons, new opportunities. And every day I wake up, every single day, and I thank God for everything that's happening in my life, because it is really a big part of the faith that I have. And maybe I've always had it because I always knew there was something, but I was just in such a dark place that I couldn't really see it. I love meditating now. I love calming my brain. I've been doing a lot of research on the positive aspects that meditation has on the nervous system and the brain. Something I'm open to. I'm very open to everything. I'm open to, like I said, I'll check out a Hindu church or a Catholic church or synagogue or a Baha'i gathering. I'm just open to learning. I love being around people. I love hearing people's ideas, and I don't want to judge anybody. Everybody has their story. I always tell myself, I don't know what that person went through today. I don't know why that guy, gave me the finger gesture. He was in a hurry, maybe, and got frustrated, but you know what? Everybody has a right to have their path, to have their beautiful door open, to close the doors in the past, like the poem said, because we want to get rid of yesterday's rubbish. And there's an expression, in South Africa, good riddance to bad rubbish. And that's like saying good riddance to the things of the past that no longer serve us. The trash is rubbish. And looking forward, I think about, um, when I sing my songs to my people and I talk about rainbows and all of those things, maybe it's a metaphor, but there's a rainbow there that is something we all have it. We all, I believe, every single one of us comes to this place that we are with a purpose and an opportunity and a chance to live and to help people and to help ourselves and even help people, like in the blue zones. It's just taking care of your parents, taking care of your kids, your grandkids, going to the store for people, anything, picking up, you know, odd trash that you see, or see a whole bunch of carts, take a couple carts back, anything. I have a friend of mine that I went to visit this week, 84 years old, and told me that there's a group at her church that they do 28 acts of kindness a day, whatever it is, even if it's just, checking on a neighbor, saying, whatever it is. She said they can be little small things. A lot of times we go to a particular memory care and she brings lifesavers to this one lady who loves lifesavers, and we sneak in just two, but little things like that. And I thought, what a beautiful thing to go through life at 84 years old, and she's such a wonderful person, doing 28 a day, not a week, not a month, 28 acts of kindness a day. And she said one of the things that's bothering her, because she had a little procedure done and she's homebound, is she can't do her acts of kindness. So she calls people and, is plans to double up when she's out and about again. So I want people like that in my life. Those are the people that nourish me and that make me happy. And I hope I make them happy. And I feel that I've met people like her because of the doors that I've closed. I have the room and the willingness to open other doors so that I can, really see the big picture for the first time in my life. My pity party is over. I'm so thrilled. My new doors of opportunity are all gratitude and happiness and wonder and like this, I mean, the sky's the limit, and the sky's the limit for all of us. These days I tell people, like, when you're 70 or 80, it's like being 40 or 50. It's a different, when you watch the Blue Zones, you can live happily and hopefully to over 100 without a doubt if you just have the right recipe, the right thoughts and the right feelings, and just no more, for me, no more pity party. Those days are absolutely, whatever happened in the past happened in the past. There is nothing I can do about it now. But you know what I can do about it now is I can leave it there. I can leave it far away there, like my little bird that I have, my little girl. Her past was very traumatic, but she is thriving and striving and singing. She sang in the shower today. She got a shower and she was singing, and I think about how glorious and brilliant from that little bird that I brought that used to run up and down in her cage. She's no longer in a cage and she's no longer running up and down. I feel like that's me, I'm just breaking out of that dark past that I was in, and I'm blessed and grateful, and I have so many doors that I'm going to open, but the doors that I'm going to open, I have to close some of the ones and leave them behind. Leave those things behind, jobs behind, people behind, places behind. They say when you end a substance abuse, you have to have nothing of the past come forward with you in your present. And that's very, very something that I think about a lot with gambling. I can't have that in my life. I just can't. And I won't, I just won't. So, closing one door and opening another. I have a little ageless grace to do with everybody. So, going to do a front row orchestra here. Front row orchestra activates all 5 functions of the brain, as does every tool in ageless grace. And I'm going to play a song for everybody. And it's talking about closing one door and opening another. To close one door, open another. So I want you guys to play the instruments with me. I want you to really use your creativity and imagination so that you really feel and imagine these instruments, because that's what really activates the brain. So it's called When One Door Closes. And I want you to tap your feet and play your guitar. Play your guitar. You can close your eyes, you can keep them open, but I want you to really, really picture this guitar. When one door closes, tap your feet, because that's what helps your timing circuits, your balance. And I know we want to stay balanced. So when you do it on one side, you want to do it on the other. So we're doing the other, we're doing our guitar. Our guitar, and the good thing about the memories, if you did play the guitar, you remember it. Otherwise, you use your recall, and you recall seeing other people play in a band. How about some drums? How about some drums? How many drums do you have? How about 6? How about 6 drums? And tapping your feet. How about tapping your heels to change it up a little bit? Change it up a little bit. How about some fun maracas? Tap your heels when one door closes. Another one opens. How about some castañetas? Castañetas. Can you say that? Castañetas. How about we play the bass? One hand down, one hand up, play the bass. Let's tap our toes. Tap our toes and play the bass. Picture that bass. And switch. All right, when one door closes. So that's a little bit of an ageless grace tool. We have 1 tools in ageless grace, activating all 5 functions of the brain. And you can reach me at my name, Tracy Gelb, my email at hotmail.com, TRACEYGELB at hotmail.com, to come to our complimentary class on Sundays at noon Eastern time. If you've never been to Ageless Grace, I really, really recommend it. It's such a beautiful program. And for any age, Denise Medved says from 7 to 107. And I really, really mean that. We do it seated to teach the brain to do things seated that we would normally do standing. I wish you all a beautiful rest of your Labor Day. Thank you so much, and good night.